In the village of Obanji, where the wind whispered in drums and trees sang lullabies, there lived a girl named Zara. Zara was no ordinary child. Her laughter was music, and her voice was a song that healed. When she sang, birds gathered in trees, babies stopped crying, even the river paused to listen. But life was not all sweetness. Zara's mother, Majuna, had eyes that could no longer see, and her father, Papa Tembo, once strong as a lion, had grown weak from years of struggle. So each day, Zara carried more than just firewood. She carried hope. And every morning, with a basket on her head and a song on her lips, she stepped into the forest. That morning, Zara sang as always, but the air was different. The wind blew softer, the birds stayed hidden. She didn't notice the sky growing grey. She didn't notice the path bending wrong. Deeper and deeper, she wandered past trees that whispered her name, until suddenly the birds were gone, the wind stood still, and Zara for the first time forgot her song. She turned left, then right, then again. The trees looked the same, tall, thick, endless. "Hello," she whispered, but no one answered. And as the sun disappeared behind the trees, the forest turned dark. The laughing voice was now a frightened whisper. Zara was lost. Zara walked for hours. Her feet were heavy. Her heart was trembling. The forest had grown strange. The trees leaned too close. The air smelled old. Then she saw it. A crooked cottage, tangled in thorns, glowing faintly like moonlight in fog. On the doorstep stood a tall woman, wrapped in layers of shadow and silk. Her eyes shimmered green, her smile not quite warm. "Come, child," the woman said. "You look tired, hungry." Zara stepped inside. The air was thick with smoke and spice. Shelves filled with jars, glowing insects, dried leaves, bones too small for comfort. "I am Madame Coco," the woman said. "Stay the night. But here, nothing is free." Zara hesitated. "All I ask," said Madame Coco, "is your voice." Her voice? Zara had nothing else to give. And so, with tears in her eyes, she nodded. Madame Coco reached into the air, and from Zara's throat, she pulled the song. A glowing ribbon of sound, twisting and dancing until it was locked inside a glass jar on the highest shelf. From that moment on, the forest fell silent, and so did Zara. In the dim light of the witch's hut, Zara sat, voiceless. Her lips moved, but not a sound came out. The glass jar on Madame Coco's shelf glowed softly. Inside, her song twisted and shimmered like trapped starlight. "You gave it willingly," the witch hissed. "Now you serve." Each day, Zara swept ashes, fetched water from a cursed well, and tended to strange, whispering plants. Her back ached, her fingers cracked, but her eyes, they still burned with hope. Sometimes she'd reach toward the jar, only for the witch to laugh. "Try to sing, little bird," Madame Coco would sneer. But all Zara could do was open her mouth and cry in silence. Outside, the forest grew still. No birds, no wind, no laughter. Even the village far beyond the trees felt the silence. For the girl who once made everything dance was now a ghost in a cottage of thorns. The days in Madame Coco's cottage were long and filled with silence. Every morning before the first bird could dare to sing, Zara was awake, sweeping ash, fetching water, chopping wood that refused to burn. Her soft hands, once made for weaving and clapping to rhythm, became rough and cracked. Her clothes, once bright like morning clothes, faded like evening dust. The witch never praised, only pointed, and watched, always watched. "You work, little ghost," she'd mutter. "You sing no more." But inside, Zara's spirit was not broken. At night, when the witch wandered into the woods to speak with shadows and stars, Zara would sit near the glowing jar on the shelf and imagine the songs she would sing again one day. Her lips moved with no sound, but in her heart, the music still lived, and the jar glowed just a little brighter. One morning, as Zara tended the crooked garden, she noticed something strange. A single stalk of sugarcane glowing faintly under a vine. Unlike the others, it shimmered, blue and gold like trapped sunlight. Curious, she knelt beside it, touched it, and when she bit into it, a wind stirred, not outside, but within. Her chest swelled, her throat warmed, and then she sang. Just one note, soft as breath, but it was hers. Her voice had returned. Zara froze. The jar still glowed on the witch's shelf, but the magic had broken. Without waiting, she dropped her basket and ran. Through the back door, into the forest, barefoot, breathless, Zara ran. Through vines, over roots, past trees, she no longer feared. Her voice had returned, and with it, her courage. Behind her, the witch's cottage groaned, the jars trembled, the walls cracked. Madame Coco knew. She screeched into the sky, her green eyes glowing with fury. "You dare take back what was mine?" Zara ran faster. Her breath was short, her feet were bleeding, but she didn't stop. The forest bent around her, not to trap her, but to protect her. Birds returned to the trees. The wind carried her voice forward. Even the ground seemed to soften under her steps. But the witch was close. Magic swirled like smoke behind her. A single note burst from Zara's mouth. Bright, clear, strong, and the magic shattered. A final scream echoed from behind, swallowed by the woods. Zara stumbled into a clearing, and everything went black. Zara lay still. Her chest rose and fell like the tide. Her voice quiet again. But this time, not stolen, just resting. The forest circled her in silence. Then, one by one, the trees leaned in. Their branches formed a cradle. Their leaves whispered lullabies. And out of the earth bloomed a flower, shaped like a heart, glowing with golden dew. The forest had seen her sorrow, felt her kindness, heard her silence. Now it answered. The golden flower floated above her chest, and from it a single drop of light fell into her throat. Her lips parted, her eyes opened. She sang, not just with her voice, but with the forest. A melody never heard before, the song of the woods. And far away in the shadows, the witch heard it. The forest was quiet again, but this time it was the quiet before something new. A young prince rode through the woods, tall, kind-eyed, searching. He had heard whispers of a song, a voice so pure it could heal. And that morning, as the mist rose, he heard it. A note so gentle, it felt like sunlight in sound. He followed the voice until he found her, Zara. Lying beneath a tree, her braid tousled, her skirt was muddy, her spirit glowing. She looked up, and though she didn't speak, he knew. "You are the one I've been dreaming of," he said. He helped her to her feet. She smiled, and when she sang again, the birds joined in. The forest bloomed, and Prince Omari fell in love. The forest had healed, but Zara still missed her mother. Prince Omari, hearing her heart, gave one simple nod. "Let's go home," he said. So they journeyed through morning light and humming woods, and when the village saw her, the drum stopped. Then came the cry, "Zara!" Her mother ran, blind eyes full of tears. Her father knelt, trembling with joy. And when Zara sang, even the birds went silent to listen. Her voice was stronger, not just sweet, but brave. The prince told the people what she had endured, what she had overcome. They asked her to stay, but Zara smiled, holding her parents' hands. "We will all go together to the palace, where her mother would see again, where her father would teach the children, and where Zara's song would become the anthem of a kingdom." Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting African folktales. Thank you for watching.